pre-programmed ahead of time. Oh, let's turn off one of the speakers here because I don't want audio bouncing back at you. Hello, everyone. Robert Imbriale here, flying solo today. Lewis may join. We don't know because they're on their way down right now to Tampa, and they're still on the road. They've been driving through the night, and it's a long drive from Albany, New York, all the way down to Florida. Just let me tell you, it's a 20-hour plus drive. So they did stop. Lewis called a little while ago, and he said they're still on the road and they're making their way. So they will be reporting tomorrow. We will have some on-the-ground reports of what they're doing. We're just looking at the news and everything that's going on in that area, and it's really hard to watch some of it, especially what's going on in North Carolina. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. We're also going to get into the new conflict that's happening with Israel and Iran, and how the United States might be roped into it, and how that may impact the election. I know some people don't want to hear that, but it may end up being that way. So we've got a lot to talk about, and I'm looking here. Is it really 32 days to the election? Let me look. I thought I saw that this morning, and I'm just going to go make sure that I got the number right. RenegadeMedia.tv, because I have it right on the homepage of the website, and 34 days until the election. Okay. Yeah, we get inside that 30-day mark, and it's going to be fireworks. I can tell you, I really feel it's going to be that way. So we're looking at October 1st, and that was why on the preview screen I put the October calendar there. Just give you a hint. We're no longer in September, and we heard what about October? Aha, the October surprise happens every year, right? Especially during election years. So which way is it going to go? That's a good question. We've got so many different things that could pop at this point, and some are already. We got to be ready for anything. And the overarching message right now is just be prepared, right? And I think everyone's looking at that and saying, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? And you need to be prepared. You need to be able to be in a position that if the worst happens, think North Carolina. Think Maui. Think these kind of situations. These are clearly, to me, you may not agree, but clearly to me, man-made disasters, and they happen. Everything gets wiped out. How are you protecting yourself? Do you have everything in one spot, or do you have things in different areas? Do you have friends to go to? That kind of thing. Real important to have that figured out, especially in these crazy times that a little bit hard sometimes to figure out what is the truth and what isn't the truth. I'm just looking right here. And yes, my guest is already in the back room. Fabulous. Okay. So we're gonna, as we go forward here, the Unity Tour has probably taught us a lot. And as you guys know, the Unity Tour has been canceled. If you did not hear the announcement yesterday, Lewis came out and they were doing the tour stop in Albany, New York yesterday morning. And Lewis had some insight. And he said, listen, maybe continuing the tour right now doesn't make sense, because the path of the tour was going to take them through a lot of the hurricane damage area. So they said, why don't we just skip going all the way north to New Hampshire and Connecticut and those, and why don't we just turn and go south, and which is what they did, and they're going to help out as best they can. So people have been sending in donations. Boy, we feel so blessed, and thank you so much for doing that. A lot of people will ask the question, it's like, where do we donate? We don't want to donate to the Red Cross. We don't want to donate to FEMA. We don't want to donate to, just somebody sends you a text that says, hey, send money. You don't want to do that. You want to send it where it's going to make a difference. So Lewis set up a Give, Send, Go, and I'm going to put that link up here just for a minute. It's actually on the bottom too, but I'll put it up here. GiveSendGo.com.SBG3. Very easy to get to, goes directly there. And there's a lot of donations that have been coming in, and it's really helping. So they're now traveling with 3 RVs. They have the original Esther, they have the new RV they got, and also Stephen Tenner's traveling with them. So they've got 3 RVs. They're going to pick up an extra trailer. They're gathering supplies, and they need money to do that. They're going to buy all these supplies, food, water, that kind of thing, non-perishables, and bring it down into the affected area. So they're going to end up in Tampa sometime later today. They may actually be rolling in now. And I know a lot of you have asked, how can I help? How can I help? Donating is one thing. That's a very important thing. They're also going to have, I think tomorrow morning, we'll have an address for you where there could be a meetup, because some people have been asking. Misty is one who asks, and where do I meet him? I'm an hour away from Tampa. Where do I meet him? And we're going to figure that out, and they're working on that tonight. And tomorrow we'll have that information for you, because I know a lot of people want to be hands-on, and we need the hands, no question. So I know Tampa is not the most heavily impacted area, and we look at North Carolina. I think North Carolina got the worst of it. I always ask the question, how does a hurricane get stronger when it goes over land? Because normally they get a lot weaker. Their strongest point is at landfall, and then after that they just start to fall apart. Right? They're just tropical storms after that. So how the middle of North Carolina, the west side of North Carolina, got hit so bad, and so much destruction and damage there. It begs the question: is there more to the story, right? And I think the answer there is yes. I think there is more to the story, and we will continue to dig as we did with Maui, and we continue to look at that story, because that one didn't go away. I know it's not in the news anymore, but that didn't go away. So many of the people did. Who lost everything, they didn't come back. They still are not rebuilding anything. Gosh, it's more than a year later. There's still no rebuilding going on. So clearly, there was another plan at play here to get them out of there. And sure enough, that's what happened. What's the deal with Asheville, North Carolina? Ooh, there's a lithium mine there. Well, that's interesting, right? There's another mine that mines crystals that are used in the fabrication of silicone chips. We just learned that this morning. Well, that's interesting too. So there's a lot of economic reasons for this to be. It could just be that, how are these people going to get their mail-in ballots, right? If their houses are gone, where are they going to deliver them to? I don't mean to laugh about it, but I don't think election is really on their mind at this time. I think they're just trying right now to survive. They're looking for food, water, electricity, maybe an internet connection, a nice warm place to sleep. A lot of people are in that kind of situation. I don't care about the election anymore, right? And maybe that's intentional. Maybe that was part of the plan. I don't know. We will see as this stuff unfolds. As you can imagine, as we're going through this, right, there's just a lot of craziness going on, and the news is very scattered. What we hear today may be debunked tomorrow. So what I'm going to share with you today is what I know as of this moment, as of this stream. But beyond that, can't tell you. I don't know what will happen tomorrow. I don't know if it'll be changed, if more information will come out, which I assume it will, on all these stories, because it always does. So we're looking October 1st. What were we told? We were told again and again, it's going to be March. That's going to be the big bang. No, that wasn't March anymore. Well, you know what? It'll be May. No, not May anymore. Then they pushed it to June. Then it was July. And then it was, we're going to see everything happen in September. Some did. Little few things here and there. Then all of a sudden now, we get down to the last, 34 days here before the November 5th election. We're down to the wire, right? If something's going to happen before the election, it's got to be in the next 30 days or sooner. And you got the hint from Hillary Clinton the other day where she says expect an October surprise, right? And everyone's going, well, what does that mean? And how does she know, right? It's like, well, a lot of these things are planned. These are not anomalies. They're not organic, if you will. A lot of this stuff is part of the plan. So we're looking at that and saying, interesting. We're going to watch October very carefully. We're going to be smart about what we're doing. We're going to stay prepared, and we're going to stay vigilant. We're going to watch out for each other. That's the only way. It's the only way forward at this point. Can't be mad at your neighbor. They didn't get it. Okay, I got it. They didn't get it. They're never going to get it. Who cares? Do we really care, Republican, Democrat? Does it really matter anymore? We've been talking about this for years. It doesn't matter. What matters is it's us against evil. And, more and more people on the other side are waking up to that fact and going, yeah, I'm with you guys. We don't want this evil. We want, a country that is safe and secure and prosperous for all. We get that. So, honestly, we have more in common than we do apart. We just do. So we're going to take it from there. We're going to move forward with that. All right. I just want to talk about our sponsor real quickly here, Verity Metals, Matt Geiger. If you're looking to protect your wealth, and you probably should be at this point, or investing in gold and silver, coins, bars, whichever you prefer, or you're converting your IRA or 401k, give Matt a call, have a conversation with him. He's not a high-pressure salesman. He's an easygoing guy. You can have just a chat with him, and that would be fantastic. You can find him at veritymetals.com, or you can reach him at 480-717-9081. And we thank Matt for being the primary sponsor for the Unity Tour. Now, a note on the Unity Tour, the only event that's left on the calendar is Tampa. That's why they're going to Tampa, so they'll be there ready for Saturday's events. If you want to find out more about that, we have the information, screwbiggov.com/Tampa. And you'll find the information there about that event. A lot of people are signed up for it. Now, there's always a caveat. Lewis had said it yesterday, weather permitting. Why? Because there's another tropical storm headed up in that direction. We don't know if it'll hit before this event. It may hit after. I think they're saying between October 5th and 8th right now is what the forecast is. So it looks like we'll be okay. But we'll keep an eye on it and just keep an open mind that, things can shift, things can change, and we will be streaming it as well. So if you really can't make it, be a good idea to watch the stream. All right. There's a world on fire. If you saw the preview video, I had a video of a globe, and then the globe kind of was burning, right? And we have right now, we could look at record inflation. We have a strike now by the port workers on the longshoremen is what they're called on the East Coast. And that's going to dramatically impact our economy at a time when we're trying to rebuild North Carolina. Bad timing, guys. Really bad timing. You couldn't put this off for another 90 days or whatever. Bad timing. We have biblical flooding and horrible disaster response from our government. Well, maybe it's better FEMA's not involved. I don't know. We have borders that are wide open, and we're seeing all kinds of people come through the border that we don't know who they are, but they shouldn't be here. And now a massive person, it couldn't be her either. 2 empty suits. Who's running the country? You know who looks presidential is Trump. Why? He's flying into these zones where the hurricane hit, and he's orchestrating help. Reached out to Elon Musk, and Elon said, we'll provide as many Starlink satellite receivers as you guys need. They needed more, so he's ramped up production. He's got more people in there, so they're building more of them. And he's gone so far today, people who hate Elon Musk will love this. He went so far today, he says, I don't care about the billing. I don't care if they're paying for them or not paying for them. We're setting them up because people are in need. Wow. We're just giving you these systems, and you can set them up and connect to the internet and have internet for your neighborhood. And Elon doesn't even care about the billing. Doesn't care anything about it. Just going to set it up, activate them all, off it goes. I don't know how long that'll be, but that's a great gesture. That and the fact that so many systems, I think that 2,000 systems were sent there already, and they want more. And he's ramping up production to get more of them out there. Hoy, what a world we live in. This is from Donald Trump, and he was saying this morning. Let me just bump here to this. I got too many things open. I think that's the problem. So he said, the world is on fire, spiraling out of control. We have no leadership, no one running these, that they're pulling out of the river that flooded in the historic Biltmore village. Images will be published as tastefully as can be done when they have them receive them. Operation Burning Edge, which is her thing. Let's see. We already have members of our team en route to Asheville now. That is not the first time that I heard about how bad Asheville was. And, there was a fellow yesterday who was on the front lines. Actually, I do have the video. I didn't play it yet, but it's from a couple of days ago. I'll play it now because I think it's pertinent.
So I just got out of the water. We're up at the local emergency operations center. They have a Starlink set up, and water rescues are continuous. So the mud is insane here. The amount of bridges that are out, the amount of landlocked, stranded people is unbelievable. There's still plenty of people completely unaccounted for. Keep these locals in your prayers, because I've been doing this since 2013. I got some guys with me that have done it 30 years, and they've never seen anything like this. It's wild. The pictures and videos are nothing compared to seeing it in person. I don't even know how it's possible that it happened. but the job goes on.
Yeah, that's clearly, what we're saying as well is like we've never seen anything like this. This is not an organic hurricane. This is something more. And there's some people in the weather industry who are looking at the radar and studying it and saying this thing, no, this thing was either directed and, if they caused it to stall over a specific area like Asheville, it would dump a lot more water. I mean, the water was just incredible. I mean, the town is completely devastated from you seeing the videos. And, one of the things, Lewis and the team really wanted to go there, but the truth is it's really next to impossible to get in because all the bridges are out, right? So you can't get in and out of there. There's no flow. And if you're not, part of that situation, maybe you're more in the way. So they decided instead, hey, let's go to Tampa because there was a lot of damage there as well. We have a lot of people in that area who are saying that. The other thing that is really interesting here that popped up in the feed today was the Biden-Harris regime gave Ukraine our emergency stockpile of electrical transformers. Those are the things that get damaged in floods because they sit on the ground and the water gets in them and they blow up and they're no good anymore. They need to be replaced in order to restore power. We have a stockpile in case of emergency. They gave it away. So it is now in Ukraine and not here. So just think about this for a minute, guys. The strategic petroleum reserves drained, right? They gave away all this. They gave away so much money. They gave more money to Ukraine this week. And then Biden came out the other day and said, yeah, there's no more money for hurricane relief. Huh. I don't know. Makes my blood boil. I have no idea what to tell you. All right, we have the International Longshoremen Association, the ILA. This is the boss. You got to hear this. You got to hear this. This is unreal.
These people today don't know what a strike is.
Right.
When my men hit the streets, from Maine to Texas, every single port will lock down. You know what's going to happen? I'll tell you. First week, be all over the news every night, boom, boom. Second week, guys who sell cars can't sell cars because the cars ain't coming in off the ships. They get laid off. Third week, malls start closing down. They can't get the goods from China. They can't sell clothes. They can't do this. Everything in the United States comes on a ship. They go out of business. Construction workers get laid off because the materials aren't coming in. The steel's not coming in. The lumber's not coming in. They lose their job. Everybody's hating the longshoremen now because now they realize how important our jobs are. Now I have the president screaming at me, I'm putting a Taft-Hartley on you. Go ahead. Taft-Hartley means I have to go back to work for 90 days. That's a cooling off period. Do you think when I go back for 90 days, those men are going to go to work on that pier? It's going to cost the company's money to pay their salaries. Well, they went from 30 moves an hour maybe to 8. They're going to be like this. Who's going to win here in the long run? You're better off sitting down and let's get a contract and let's move on with this world. And in today's world, I'll cripple you. I will cripple you, and you have no idea what that means. Nobody does.
Wow. This is the union boss for the longshoremen who are on strike now, threatening. And, you heard what he said there, because they get with the stroke of a pen, he can just sign a letter and force them back to work. There's a law on the books about that. And anything that is a threat to the national security, they can force them back to work for 90 days. And what he said there is, go ahead, force us back to work. Instead of moving 30 containers an hour, we'll move 8. And you have bottleneck anyway. So they're playing hardball here, and they want that 77% raise. They were offered 50% last night after not having any offers since June. So, a little bit of pressure. We've got the strike on. So we'll see where this goes. This is an interesting thing. And then the question you have, the election. Do they bring, a lot of people are saying this now, they bring Harris in to save the day, and she'll solve the strike. If Trump's not president, nothing he can do. So what'll end up happening? or will it continue to be there? And will the economy really go upside down because so much can't be delivered? And you heard what he said. He said you can't get the new cars, you can't get new lumber. A lot of companies can't get the material they need for the Christmas rush, right? A lot of the stores aren't going to be stocked. A lot of that stuff is coming through those ports. I mean, you think about everything that we import comes through a port. Of course, we've got the West Coast ports open, but to send a ship all around the bottom of the continental, the Americas, right? You got all the way around to get it through. That's a long process. It's a lot more days of shipping just to bring it in the West Coast. The West Coast ports will get jammed up real quick too. So it could be a real mess on our hands. We'll see. It's only day one. It started at midnight. So we'll see where that ends up going. It's a little bit crazy. So we have another event in Israel. And I want you to look at this for a moment. I'm going to show you the video of the missiles coming in, apparently from Iran, hitting Israel. And I want you to think about what you are not seeing here. Stephen, I want you to watch this as well, because I'm going to bring you in on this in a minute. Got it? Here we go. Okay. What was missing from that? Stephen joins us. Stephen Tenner, how are you, my friend?
What's up, Robert?
Hey. Let's see if I can get your audio a little bit louder.
I look a little delayed. Are you seeing me in real time?
Yeah, I'm seeing you in real time. You look good.
Cool. I'm delayed on the. You look good too, buddy.
Yeah, if you look at the program out, you will be delayed because it's going here and going back to you twice. So it's So just look at my shot with the brick background.
I'll just look at your handsome face. I won't look at me. I caught that small on there, so I didn't see what was missing, but I have a theory on all things. You can maybe let someone else guess, or you could give your theory. But I have a theory anyway on the whole mess.
Okay, let's hear your theory, and then I'll give you my theory. I think we're on the same page. We don't know.
I believe the war in Ukraine, the wars that we're seeing raging, these big wars are. These are all controlled things, just like the Afghanistan debacle that Trump, if he didn't speak about it a million times, because it's all controlled. These are the things that are under the control, I believe, with all of my heart and soul, of the good guys. When there used to be a tragedy of anything, when there was just a local car accident, a car on fire on the highway in your local neighborhood, with social media, you would see. This is upstate New York, Kingston. If it was a car burning on the thruway at 5 o'clock in this area, you could probably have your choice of a couple of hundred videos on social media from a couple of hundred different people. The greatest war in the existence of humanity. It's between good and evil. That's real. This isn't just a tagline. Oh, it's good and evil. No, it's literally good and evil. It's literally Satan and the divine children of God. And so there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense going on. So I'll stop there for a minute. There's my partial take, because I can go for another hour just on that, at least.
Yeah. So what I was getting at in that, so Israel has the Iron Dome, right? That's to block all the missiles coming in. And what you didn't see any of those missiles getting blown up. It's almost as if they did the same thing that they did on October 7th last year, when they pulled back their military to allow the Hamas guys to come in and create that. Why did they do that? Because they needed a reason to go into. They've been wanting to go after Hamas for a long time. They wanted to go into Gaza. That was their excuse. Now, could this be the same thing? Could they have allowed this to happen? Turned off the Iron Dome, let those missiles fall. They lose a few of their own. Not a big deal. Now they've got, and what they're talking about now is bringing the United States on board to go fully attack Iran.
Well, we don't have enough time for my full overall theory, but Trump, remember this. How many times have you heard Trump? I was at a dozen or so rallies and I watched a bunch. If he didn't speak about the Afghanistan debacle and withdrawal as the greatest embarrassment in the history of the United States, why is he telling us about all of these things? Why is actually turning into the Unity Tour now, right? Where are they headed? And I want to correct one thing. I have a blown head gasket on the Mystery Machine. So when I was in Albany yesterday after the show, when we had lunch, it was like a James Bond smoke screen
Oh,
coming
wow.
out of the exhaust. And we said, "Oh no, antifreeze, what's happening?" So I came home. I'm home, and I'm grounded. So I don't have 3 or 4 grand to fix a Mystery Machine. So I'm grounded in upstate New York. So I'm sadly here. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to rent a car and meet them or go to Tampa. But it's just chaos. So I'm in the middle of that. Just to correct that. That's why I'm on the show today. It's why Lewis wanted me to come on and chat with you briefly. Um, so that's what's happening. So I'm sad, but anyway, God has something in store because I can't imagine that he doesn't want me there. But we'll figure it out. Time will tell. Um,
Well, it doesn't
so
matter. Here's
Trump's
the thing: it doesn't matter where you are physically, right? If
no,
you
I'm
have the
I'm working,
intention,
man.
yeah, if you have the intention to help out, I mean, there's so much that needs to be done. I'm here in San Diego. I'm not in the hurricane area. We're
Right.
having weird weather. It was 46 degrees when I woke up this morning. It is now 100. What?
It's
What?
There's still
What?
weather manipulation
Yeah,
going on.
it doesn't
It's
make
still
any
happening.
sense. And we're going to be in the hundreds for the next week. And in
Wow.
the low 50s at night, it's just like it's going to be the weather for the next week. It's crazy weather. So yeah, who
It's
knows what's happening?
There's craziness everywhere, and
Yep.
it's going to get crazier. And I'm not here to get fear today, but when Poppy called me this morning to check on me to see what was going to be happening, I got like a download, right? Because I always tell people I open my mouth when I'm talking or when I do a show. I very rarely do I have notes. I say open my mouth and words come out, so they're coming from somewhere. And I'm probably one of the few people out of all of the truthers and podcasters, with the exception of Lewis, that has been right about everything, and people hate me for it. They're very angry with me because I give them the news that Nasara Jassara is not coming. We can't get people off a couch to show up to a meeting to figure out what to do to combat their school board and their council and the sheriffs and do these things and prevent, single moms from
That's the
getting
biggest thing
arrested in
that
meetings.
surprised me in this nation is that we're not
It's
reacting. We're
it's
not
really
acting.
crazy.
Yeah.
We got a real problem, Lewis. But you know who's going to take care of it? You know who's going to make you unlazy? Not you, the people that need to hear this. God's going to make people unlazy, and it's happening right now. So the Unity Tour actually turned into the Unity Tour because there wasn't any unity going on. Like 5 people, like embarrassing, showing up at a show. What's it going to take to people act? You know what's going to take? It's going to take a fucking hurricane. It's going to take injured people. So look what's happening. We're getting a preview of what's coming. I don't want to scare people, but think about it. We've been told about mass chaos is coming. So this is the appetizer, I believe. I don't want to put people in fear because I had people leave me years ago when I got caught up in the psyop and did the fear of how we're gonna, there was going to be this strike years ago. You remember this? There was this big port thing was supposed to be happening years ago. We were going to run out of the food, the food chain, all of the things. Everyone went berserk. I did the whole thing. I got caught up in it. But guess what? We planted that seed in people's heads, and hopefully people are still stockpiled because what's the worst thing? I want to say this today. Don't blame me, but what's the worst thing if you are prepared? If God forbid, let's just say a little mini tornado comes right through your neighborhood, Robert, rips your roof off and your neighbors. It doesn't matter if your neighbor has a Harris Walls sign on their front lawn today, right? And you have a Trump sign. If your roofs get ripped off and your neighborhood is screwed up, like where the team is heading, does any of that stuff matter? Do you think the people in North Carolina and Georgia and Florida right now that had a Walls sign that floated away somewhere, do you think that they're all together right now?
Of course they are.
Unified? Do you think that they're unified? Do you think that they give a shit right now? No. And I believe that's what it's going to take. So we're actually getting an appetizer. And Lewis agrees with me, by the way. I had a conversation with him today. I said, Lewis, this is my download today. We think we're going to get unified. We're waiting to talk to our friends and family when they expose P. Diddy and Oprah and the Epstein list and everything we're caught up in the psyop about that we want disclosure, we want the truth. Well, you know what the truth is? The real truth that you can see is that there's a hurricane and people don't have homes right now. That's the real truth, right? And so that's unifying people right now, right? So Lewis agrees with me. I said, I think the download is coming. Red October is going to be the October surprise. We're going to get unified and God is going to bring us to our knees. And we're going to get that Jesus and justice moment. You're going to be begging for Jesus at some point in the near future and people are going to get justice. It's how the movie ends. And so God said, I think he gave us the chance. A lot of us could not get off the couch. We just couldn't do it. We couldn't show up to a team traveling around, sleepless, with breakdowns, trying to do everything they could. And there was 3 people in Albany. It was the most embarrassing and disheartening thing. Like, what is it going to take for people to show up? It's going to take a fucking hurricane. It's going to take a tornado. It's going to take chaos. And God is going to make us come together. And you're going to be feeding your neighbor. And that's how you're going to unify. You're not going to be talking about P. Diddy. You're going to be talking about Tenor. Can I plug my extension cord into your generator that's running? Because you're stockpiled for 3 months. You have a fireplace. You have heat. You have 3 generators. You have pails of gas stockpiled. Can I plug my extension cord in so my kids don't freeze? That's the unity that's coming, Robert. That's what I think. Take it or leave it. But we're getting the preview already, aren't we? The Unity Tour is canceled, and Unity is actually happening, right? Yes. So this is my new download today. So I don't want to scare the shit out of anyone, but you've been told by everybody over the years, get your supplies, make sure you have non-perishables, make sure you have some water. Am I making this up? What are people doing? People don't have water, they don't have food, they don't have a home. So what's going on right now? This is reality, right? Mm-hmm. And I think there's more coming in sections of the country in different forms, because God said, if I can't get you off the couch, I'm going to blow that motherfucker right out of your house when I rip the roof off. And then I'm going to make you unify. I mean, I hope this is resonating with people, and I want people to be ready, because we're going to show up just like we did with September 11th, just with like what's happening now. And I'm sad that I'm here and I can't be there experiencing this one-on-one. But God, like I said, God has different plans. Maybe I'm just going to be talking about these things and getting people prepared, because more is coming. Because nothing else worked. So, but this is working, isn't it? What happened down there, as sad as it is.
You're jumping off my San Diego presentation. That's what I did at the Unity Tour for San Diego. It's like I said, the only time that this country has been unified that I remember in my lifetime was 9/12, 2001. Yeah. It was right after 9/11. Yep. That was the only time. And, it took that kind of an event for people to say shut up about everything and forget about the politics. I mean, George Bush had a 93% approval rating after that.
Right. I mean,
crazy.
Barney Rubble, a cartoon character, would have had a great approval rating. Yeah. I mean, and that's what Biden and Kamala are. They're characters, but I mean, they're not leading anything. The writing is on the wall. The global operation continues to clean up the baddies. We're dealing with whatever level. I mean, how many years does it take to arrest 500,000 or 1 million or 5 million people? Takes a long time. Takes a long time. So we continue that cleanup happens, and those people are handling their operation, and God wants us to handle just our little bit. And we haven't done a good job, so now he's going to send in reinforcements called hurricanes, tornadoes, natural disasters. The devil might have his hand in that as well, because I think these, the devil, I think, is unleashing their full bag of tricks. I mean, this was definitely a directed hurricane. I mean, like you said, I mean, it's gaining speed over land. Like, this doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. How do these things happen all of a sudden?
Well, here's one.
We're being...
Here's another piece that is kind of interesting. This was a tweet that was, or a text message that was shared. I'm in the 82nd stationed in Fayetteville, North Carolina. We have guys in our unit with family in Western North Carolina that are trying to get to their family. Guys who are asking to put in passes to go help any way they can. They're getting told no. Meanwhile, we got briefed that we have to be on standby in case we need to support the Middle East. The people stuck need to know that we're trying, but our higher ups aren't allowing it. This is our military.
Do you see what they're doing? And what you just showed in the news, that we're out of oil, which I don't believe. We're out of generators. We're out of all of these things. Do you see what's happening? It's like, what is it going to take for people to wake up? They're presenting now. Look, the hurricane is real. But they're making it, like, none of our supplies are here because they're in all of these other countries. And I hope people are taking their, Israel and their Ukraine flags down off their profiles and off their homes, and they're flying an American flag, because we're actually in the worst shape. So you see what's happening? Like,
hey, the money doesn't flow back to us. Isn't that interesting?
People have to get with themselves today. These people that are suffering with severe and dangerous sheepnesia. It's like, wait a minute. I'm really effed up here. Okay, is today the day I take the Ukraine flag? I'm American. I was born in Brooklyn, New York. Do I take my Ukraine flag down now and do I hang an American flag? I'm not worried. I'm anchored fully in faith. My life changed. I have zero fear. That's what the song is about. The song is a blueprint for a lot of things, but the one thing is no fear, because we have eternal life. We know there's more than this shit show here, hopefully, if you're anchored in faith. And we're going through the motions. And I believe that that's the part of the thing with I'm jumping into the song. I don't want to jump there now. If you have something to say on.
I think that's a good place to go. I want to let everyone know too. We planned a shorter show today, and Lewis and I are having conversations. We're going to be, changing the format a little bit and making the show better for all of you, based on a lot of feedback and a lot of things that we're seeing too. So we're going to make some upgrades to it. But we brought Stephen on today to share a few thoughts with us, and then we're going to have him talk now a little bit about the song. Then we're going to play out the song, and then we'll be back tomorrow with more. Hopefully we'll have interviews from on the ground there, as Lewis is saying he's going to get a video from that, so we'll be able to bring you what's going on in Tampa, because that'll be good to see. All right, Stephen, tell us about your song.
That's what Lewis told me. He said jump on with Robert, and whatever. There might be some live interviews, in the middle of this tragic stuff, because people need to see it. People need to see that for real, So I'm sure he'll be bringing that tomorrow. But Robert, just simply, the song was I can't write a song like that. Okay, this is not me. This is not ego. I wrote a song, and God worked it out with me. And I said, I need to tell your story. I need to tell a little bit of what happened to me. I need a beautiful song. We worked it out, and God showed me that the song is going to be a global epic hit. It's going to take a little time, but we were blessed. And the people that hear the song, there's people that don't know me, and they'll send me an email and they'll say, I'm in tears when I hear the song. So God really put something special together with the song. I thank you guys for playing at the end of each show. Thank you for coming. I hope people are donating there to Tornado. I'm a small fry in this. I don't need the mystery machine right now, but it's grounded thousands of dollars. So I don't want to ask for anything, but what I would love is I would love if someone could just digitally download the song if they love it. If they don't have 99 cents, they could watch the song for free all day, Robert. If they go to my website, the YouTube video's there, the video that you guys play. Watch the music video, because I believe the music video is so important at this time right now. I think God wanted it around for this time, in this transitional period, when God or source or creator or whoever is going to be needed more than ever. We need him now, and it even says it in the song. They tried to take him away, but this time you're here to stay. And we need to be anchored in faith. We need to have no fear, because I believe more things are going to be coming at us, Robert. I want to be wrong, and I haven't been wrong for years. Honestly, I have not. That's not ego. People can go back and watch my shows, what I talk about. I said, no money's coming anybody's way. Please stop waiting for the Nasara Jassara Stork. We can't get people to show up to prevent a single mom from getting arrested and show up and take care of business. You think we're getting rewarded with Nasara Jassara? It will be the last thing. And I'll say it again. And I've been right for the last 3 years. So people really should start listening to me, because I've been one of the few people who's been right about everything. So we're not getting rewarded. We haven't done shit. So when God sees that we're anchored in faith and we're spreading the gospel, which is the good news, and we're ushering him back in, we're strongly anchored in faith, and we have no fear for what's coming, as long as God is by our side and we have him in our hearts, because he never went anywhere. They're not coming back. Jesus and God are not coming back. That's the bad news. They don't have to. They never went anywhere. The cabal poisoned us and separated us and destroyed our relationship with Source. But he's inside. Everything we need is inside. And this is what the song is about. And I believe the song has such a powerful God frequency that you must listen to it quietly and know that the song, I'm talking to you. God is talking to you. Thank you for coming. Q is you and me. Q is the seed. When the sperm enters, it's the moment of conception. It's the moment of life. Q is life. Q is love. God wrote the song for all of you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Everybody that's standing up and wants to do something powerful for humanity. Thank you for coming. The song is for you. song is for you. Please listen to it. And if I could do a shameless plug, Robert, these are my CDs. They came out. I have the best team. That's the front and the back. I made a board. I thought it was going to be on 12 shows. I got merch and everything like that. Now it's in the broken down mystery machine. This is what the CD looks like. It came out so nice.
Wow.
This is the insert. It's the front and the back. I got the insert with the lyrics. The CD came out. I have the best team. Shout out to my graphic designer in Pandora, Ohio. Hats, shirts. I got stickers. Look, I know there's a hurricane. I almost feel terrible telling anyone about that, but this is all available at thankyouforcoming.com. My stuff.
Spell it out slowly so people get it.
Cents for a digital download. I appreciate it.
Spell it out slowly, Stephen, so people hear it. Thank you.
It's thankyouforcoming.com. If you can see that, can you see my hat?
Yeah. Do you have I think on the back of the CD you can see the address. Just hold that up.
Can you see it?
Yeah. There you go. Thankyouforcoming.com. That's where you want to go if you want to get the CD. Awesome.
And if people want to look, I have podcasts. I run manual, the operation that's going on in the background. I believe it with all of my heart and soul. There's good guys fighting for us, but they're not going to do these. They're not going to do these little things, Robert. God is waiting for his people. It should be clear by now. That God is waiting for his people. I didn't even get the memo when the military walked behind Trump at the inauguration. I didn't even understand what that meant. I didn't understand that I was watching something for the first time in history in a presidential inauguration. He told you at that moment, he in that moment, it explains that he's the commander in chief. He handed power over to the military for this operation and gave power back to the people. We didn't get the memo, Robert. We got caught up in the psyop.
Yep.
Trust the plan. We thought the plan was everything else other than us. I spoke briefly about this yesterday. I was very loud. My apologies if I was blowing your eardrums out, but I get nuts, man. I get passionate.
I got several calls. How do we do with the audio? What do we do with the audio?
But I'm sorry, man. I get passionate because I have the memo. I'm giving an important message. It's I'm giving a different message than a lot of people are. But Lewis agrees with me on I have to tell everyone, Lewis agreed with that more chaos is coming, and I believe we're witnessing the start of actual unity. And if we can't get people off the couch just to stand up of their own, if they're not going to listen to Paul Revere, like Poppy says, running down on the horse, telling people the British are coming. The Unity Tour was, if we can't get people to come out to save their own lives, then we're going to be made. God is going to make you mark my words. Don't you doubt it for a second. God is going to be billions. It's sad to see hundreds of people drowned and lost their homes, but we're people really need to get it. We are in a spiritual war. There's something going on beyond what we can see. Okay, it's something of biblical proportions. We can't see this evil. It's here. It's here. Look at the cabal. We can't see a lot of these things. You have to understand this is good versus evil. You got to armor up. You got to be fully anchored in faith. And I hope my song helps you do that. I really do. I believe that's why God is my co-writer on that. I give all the glory, all the credit to him.
Well, we're going to play the song now, Stephen, as we end tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. Thank all of you, too, for being here. We'll be back here tomorrow. Same time, same channel with more. We'll give you some more updates. We'll have some more updates from Tampa, too. I know everyone's looking for that. They're still on the road, so we didn't have anything. They're not on the ground yet. Until they get there, we won't have anything.